The U.S. dollar opened Sunday's trading session in Iraq on a weaker note, drawing the attention of currency traders, business owners, importers, and anyone who follows the movement of the Iraqi dinar. According to the latest market survey, the U.S. dollar hovered around 153,000 Iraqi dinars per 100 U.S. dollars in the local market, reflecting a noticeable decline compared with the previous trading session. The latest figures indicate that the market has started the new trading week with a softer dollar, while the Iraqi dinar has strengthened slightly in the parallel market. Although these daily fluctuations may appear small, they are closely monitored because they provide insight into market sentiment, liquidity conditions, and expectations regarding Iraq's foreign exchange market. According to the latest market information, the U.S. dollar traded in Baghdad's Al-Khifa and Al-Harithia central exchanges at 152,600 Iraqi dinars per 100 U.S. dollars. This represents a decline from the previous trading session, when the dollar was trading at approximately 153,250 dinars per $100. The decrease suggests that selling pressure on the dollar increased during the opening hours of trading, allowing the Iraqi dinar to recover some value in the parallel market. The movement was also reflected in local exchange shops throughout Baghdad. Currency exchange offices reported selling the U.S. dollar at 153,000 dinars per $100, while buying prices stood at 152,000 dinars per $100. As always, the difference between buying and selling prices represents the operating margin for exchange companies and money changers, while also reflecting normal market conditions and trading activity. A similar trend was observed in Erbil, the capital of the Kurdistan region. Exchange shops reported selling prices of approximately 450 dinars per 100 U.S. dollars, while buying prices were recorded at around 350 dinars per $100. These figures indicate that the regional market continues to move closely in line with Baghdad while maintaining slight differences due to local demand, liquidity, and trading conditions. For many viewers, the most important question is what this decline actually means. The latest numbers show that fewer Iraqi dinars are now required to purchase the same amount of U.S. dollars compared with the previous trading session. In practical terms, this means the Iraqi dinar has strengthened modestly against the U.S. dollar in the parallel market. While the movement is not dramatic, it is still significant enough to attract attention from traders and businesses that rely on foreign currency transactions every day. Importers are among the first to monitor these changes because many imported goods entering Iraq are priced in U.S. dollars. When the dollar declines in the local market, import costs can become slightly lower if the trend continues. Lower import costs have the potential to reduce pressure on wholesale prices, although the impact is usually gradual and depends on several additional factors, including transportation expenses, customs procedures, supply chain conditions, and retailer pricing strategies. Currency traders also watch these movements carefully. Every trading session presents opportunities depending on market direction and volatility. A decline in the dollar may encourage some traders to sell previously accumulated dollar holdings if they believe prices could continue falling. Others may view the decline as temporary and wait for another opportunity to purchase dollars at lower prices before a possible rebound. Such differing expectations are a normal feature of every foreign exchange market. The latest decline also highlights the importance of supply and demand. Currency prices are influenced by the amount of dollars available in the market relative to the number of buyers seeking foreign currency. When dollar supply increases or demand weakens, prices tend to move lower. Conversely, when demand rises or supply becomes tighter, the dollar usually strengthens against the Iraqi dinar in the parallel market. Several factors influence these daily changes. Commercial demand from importers can fluctuate throughout the week, depending on payment schedules. Government financial operations can also affect liquidity conditions. Banking sector activity, international transfers, seasonal spending, and overall market confidence all contribute to exchange rate movements. As a result, even relatively small changes in buying and selling behavior can influence prices during a trading session. Market Participants also continue to monitor the foreign currency auction mechanism and broader monetary operations that provide U.S. dollars to the banking system. Any increase in legitimate dollar availability can help ease pressure on the parallel market by improving liquidity. Likewise, if commercial demand temporarily slows, exchange rates may soften as buyers become less aggressive. Another important point for viewers to understand is the difference between Iraq's official exchange rate and the parallel market rate. The official exchange rate established by the Central Bank of Iraq is used for official banking transactions and government-related financial operations. Meanwhile, the figures reported from Baghdad and Erbil represent prices observed in the parallel cash market, where exchange shops and traders conduct daily buying and selling activities based on market conditions. It is important to emphasize that today's market figures do not indicate any official change in Iraq's monetary policy. The reported decline reflects movements in the parallel market only. There has been no official announcement from the Iraqi government or the Central Bank of Iraq regarding an official revaluation, redenomination, or change to the country's official exchange rate. Daily fluctuations in the parallel market should not be interpreted as evidence of any official currency reform. This distinction remains extremely important because rumors frequently circulate online regarding the Iraqi dinar. Various social media posts often speculate about sudden changes in the currency's official value. However, such claims should always be verified through official announcements from the Iraqi authorities. Market fluctuations observed in exchange shops are normal and occur regularly without indicating any change in national monetary policy. The latest decline in the dollar may also influence consumer sentiment. When people see the dollar weakening, some may postpone purchasing foreign currency in anticipation of even lower prices. Others may decide to exchange dollars back into dinars if they believe the current trend will continue. These behavioral responses themselves can contribute to additional market movement during the trading day. Businesses involved in construction, manufacturing, and retail also follow currency developments because many production inputs are imported from abroad. Exchange rate stability allows companies to plan inventory purchases more effectively and reduce uncertainty when calculating future costs. Even relatively modest improvements in exchange rate stability can help businesses manage their finances more efficiently. For households, the impact of daily exchange rate changes depends largely on individual circumstances. Families receiving remittances from relatives abroad may notice slight differences in the dinar value of incoming dollar transfers. Likewise, individuals planning international travel, tuition payments, or purchases denominated in foreign currencies often monitor exchange rates to determine the best time to convert their money. Financial analysts generally caution against overreacting to a single day's market movement. Currency markets naturally experience fluctuations based on changing supply and demand conditions. What matters more is whether a particular trend continues over several trading sessions or whether prices quickly return to previous levels. Sustained movements often provide stronger signals about underlying market conditions than isolated daily changes. Liquidity remains one of the most closely watched indicators in Iraq's foreign exchange market. When liquidity improves, businesses and banks generally have greater access to foreign currency, reducing pressure on exchange shops. Improved liquidity often contributes to narrower price differences between official and parallel market rates. Conversely, reduced liquidity can increase competition for available dollars and push market prices higher. The relationship between Baghdad and Erbil also remains an interesting feature of Iraq's currency market. Although slight differences exist between the two cities, exchange rates often move in the same general direction because both markets respond to many of the same economic factors. Regional demand, transportation costs, commercial activity, and local trading volumes can explain temporary differences between reported prices. International developments also play an indirect role in shaping market expectations. Global oil prices, economic conditions in major trading partners, international financial markets, and regional geopolitical developments can all influence business confidence and demand for foreign currency. Since Iraq's economy relies heavily on oil exports, International energy markets remain particularly important when assessing longer-term currency stability. Oil revenues continue to provide Iraq with its primary source of foreign currency earnings. Strong oil export income generally supports foreign exchange reserves and strengthens the country's ability to meet external financial obligations. Healthy reserves can improve overall confidence in the financial system, although daily parallel market movements still depend on immediate supply and demand conditions. Many economists also point to ongoing financial reforms aimed at improving banking efficiency, strengthening compliance with international financial standards, and expanding electronic payment systems. Over time, these reforms may contribute to a more transparent and efficient foreign exchange market by encouraging greater use of formal banking channels rather than cash-based transactions. Digital payment adoption has continued to expand across Iraq, helping modernize financial transactions for businesses and consumers. Increased use of electronic payments can improve financial transparency while reducing reliance on physical cash. Although these changes take time, they represent part of Iraq's broader efforts to modernize its financial infrastructure. Foreign investment also remains an important long-term consideration. Investors generally value stable exchange rate conditions because predictable currency movements reduce financial risk. Continued progress in banking reforms, infrastructure development, and regulatory improvements may encourage additional investment over the coming years. Small businesses operating in local markets often adjust prices cautiously following currency movements. Retailers typically avoid changing prices immediately after a single day's exchange rate fluctuation because inventory may have been purchased at earlier exchange rates. Instead, pricing decisions often reflect broader trends observed over several weeks rather than isolated daily changes. Consumers should therefore understand that a lower dollar in the parallel market does not automatically translate into immediate reductions in retail prices. Product pricing depends on inventory turnover, transportation expenses, supplier contracts, taxes, and broader market competition. Exchange rates are only one component of overall pricing decisions. Market participants will continue watching upcoming trading sessions to determine whether Sunday's decline represents the beginning of a broader trend or simply a temporary adjustment. Daily trading volumes, importer demand, banking activity, and liquidity conditions will all influence how exchange rates evolve throughout the week. Some traders may interpret today's movement as evidence of improving dollar availability, while others may simply view it as a routine correction following previous gains. Financial markets frequently experience such adjustments as participants respond to changing information and evolving expectations. Economic confidence remains another important factor supporting exchange rate stability. Confidence encourages businesses to invest, consumers to spend responsibly, and financial institutions to operate efficiently. Stable expectations often reduce speculative trading activity, contributing to smoother market performance over time. As always, responsible analysis requires focusing on verified market data rather than speculation. Official market surveys from Baghdad and Erbil provide valuable information regarding current trading conditions, allowing businesses and individuals to make informed financial decisions based on actual market observations rather than rumors. The decline from approximately 153,250 dinars per $100 in the previous session to around 152,600 dinars in Baghdad's central exchanges represents a measurable but moderate movement within the normal range of market fluctuations. Such daily changes are common in foreign exchange markets around the world and do not necessarily signal major shifts in economic fundamentals. Observers will also continue monitoring the spread between buying and selling prices. Narrow spreads generally indicate healthy liquidity and competitive trading conditions, while wider spreads may suggest increased uncertainty or reduced market activity. Sunday's reported prices remain consistent with normal commercial trading patterns. For businesses making large international payments, even relatively small exchange rate improvements can generate meaningful savings over time. Companies involved in regular imports may therefore welcome periods when the dollar weakens against the Iraqi dinar, provided that the trend proves sustainable. Likewise, exporters earning foreign currency revenues often monitor exchange rates because changes influence the dinar value of their earnings. Different sectors of the economy therefore experience currency movements in different ways, depending on whether they primarily buy or receive U.S. dollars. Looking ahead, traders, businesses, and consumers will remain focused on upcoming market developments, including trading activity in Baghdad and Erbil, liquidity conditions, banking operations, and broader economic indicators. Daily exchange rate reports provide valuable snapshots of current market sentiment, but should always be interpreted within the context of longer-term economic trends. Once again, it is important to conclude with an important clarification for viewers following Iraqi dinar developments. The figures discussed in this report refer exclusively to prices observed in Iraq's parallel cash market during Sunday's trading session. No official Iraqi dinar revaluation, RV, redenomination, or official exchange rate change has been announced by the Iraqi government or the Central Bank of Iraq. The official exchange rate policy remains unchanged unless formally announced by the relevant Iraqi authorities. As always, relying on verified information and official sources remains the best approach when following developments in Iraq's foreign exchange market.